Puka puka. Alright. I'm back. Had some time between it because of some things in my life and because I didn't find any motivation to continue. But now I have the motivation to play a game that's extremely old. I don't know how old, but a bit older. But still in development, more or less. Sometimes, if all stars are in the same row towards the sun, they make an update. They are not lazy, they just make another game. We start a new game. Nope. Do I look like I need tutorial? Alright, we could play a free game on challenge, but we use community because I have the good old bloodline. And this is especially good because it's a little more of the challenge than challenge. Simply because of the fact that, like it says, family fun. And yeah, almost no migration. Normally in the game, people would join over time, and the more good your village look, or let's say the life standards are higher, quality of food in terms of how much you have and how much variety you have. Do you have only meat, or do you offer bread and other things like berries or something like this? Variation. And also, how much stressed out are you people? And this is mostly completely shut down. There's almost no chance that you get anything near that much. The problem is, where do we go? Which plains? African plains? I would go for which plains? Or Lake Triangle? Let's do Triangle. We use normal, we are nomad. And almost like Kanu, but better. The Kanu of the Germans are the Gamu. The good thing about the Germanu is it's over-engineered. Ah. This is not where I wanted to go. Alright, goodbye. Nah, still not. And or did I always go to the African plains? I'm definitely not at the swamps, because I hate swamps. Because I don't like it to always have to look at certain things, like for example, yeah, this is where I wanted to go. Like for example, you have a river here, you have a river over here, you can make here. I'm more like a guy that centralizes everything. Alright, we have our little family. Do I have to explain that we have an extreme high amount of incest? No? Good. Because this should be clear. Do I get demonetized by this? I'm just saying the truth. We are literally just incest. There's nothing I can do. That's how it is. We're on the Stone Age. Alright, let's build huts. beautiful things and start. Everybody helps. The kids, the women's, the stupid. Yeah, everybody helps. Everybody goes into each other and have fun. Alright. We can make gather points for sticks. 20 will be done. We can make some piles for stone and wood. Did anybody notice that I set the complete opposite of what I placed down? Alright. And we place down gather spots for food. When the time is right and the plants grow, the people will automatically go here and gather. Alright, and of course we need the good old ancient... Yeah, almost like... It's like a diamond in the Stone Age. Flint. The perfect stone to make tools. Sharp, easy to get, and beautiful. Look at these black stones that more look like obsidian. I'm not sure if we not even take obsidian here. A fishing spot. Alright. Anything else? Stone is not needed. Let's give the gather command to the stones, so they gather the stone. And I saw a bear. Alright. We have some things to do. Butcher the beast. 150k fires. Hyenas? Hyenas. Alright. This is future. This is also a thing that will happen in the future. I have now planned what a roundhouse is. This is possible. Ah yeah, reach the Neolithic era without killing a Walurina or whatever this thing is. So, pretty much until we reach the thing, this thing and this thing is off the menu. Right, I saw a beer. Where's the beer? That is adult male. Alone? Alright, let's gather everyone. The thing is, if you give the hunt command, don't worry, the kids won't go. This is a man-only job. Or females, or diverse. These are the problems we don't have in these times. We have other problems. Medicine, viruses, parasites crawling up our anus. Everything is possible. Alright. Where is he coming from? She. Alright. We got a bear. A bit of meat, bones, and skin. The music. Alright. We get wisdom. For everything we do, for everything we hunt. That's sad because we can't hunt them. So we don't get the experience for them. We get wisdom for everything. Gathering berries, fruits, sticks, stones, flint, building materials. And wisdom is needed. Oh. Yeah, knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, I don't care. To gather new technologies. And you see, we go from the Paleolithic to the Mesolithic to the Neolithic to the Copper Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age. Pretty self-explanatory. Right, we want food drying first. For obvious reason. Alright, they start building. Alright, this is our wealth, like I explained, with the food variation and everything. And the prestige is dependent on our buildings and everything. Alright, the knowledge is given. Let's build a food dryer too. Over here. What I like about this start is, I said I built everything centralized, extremely like you would imagine the Eastern Bloc countries building their homes. A big grey sad building, but extremely efficient and also cost efficient. And this would pretty much force me to make some unique things, like building here one, these two over here, and everything. This will change very soon. Don't get too comfy. You are welcome to stay as long as it's comfy, but afterwards you have to live with the East Bloc buildings. I would imagine all these half-naked people, beautiful woods, beautiful Stone Age landscapes, and then just imagine over here a big Soviet housing block. Grey, sad, eventually some lights. But you know, there are more people in this thing than it would be over this area here. Why do I know this? Because I'm East German. I know these things. I lived in one. I still live in one, technically. But it's one of the cheapest things you get interested in, so... I'm not complaining. I have a guy that takes my post. I know I don't need these post lockers. People probably know these lockers where post will send if the courier doesn't reaches you or can't put the package in your post. And then they send it over there, and at some point, sometime in your life, you will get an email with the code where you can retrieve it from these lockers. Doesn't mean that you took the nearest lockers. Can also mean that you have the locker on the complete opposite of the city, like a friend had. All right, we have the drying rack, and the bear got slaughtered. Yeah, but for some reason, now they do it. Alright, we will dry the hide of the bear, build more things, and let's see how things go. He would be so delicious, but we can't. Jesus Christ. This also would be our death wish to attack one of them. And I'm not really sure what evolution did wrong here. I mean, Wally Rhino, everybody knows rhinos. Will completely fuck up your life if you get close to their young. But then you have this thing. Let's be honest, these things in Africa, lifetime of 6 days, after them they would be go extinct. And we know all why. The same way why elephants and rhinos have no good time. He would be the best thing for hunters. But he looks majestic. I'm not sure what they are. Elasmotherium. Alright, alright. I didn't see these two. I'm really not sure. I know they probably are extinct because I don't know them personally. Not that I would know them personally. But what are they? I mean, I'm pretty sure they are close relatives to the rhino, but by the name, this thing must be extinct by some time. Alright. We need... fire. Alright. And also, let's start building a construction hut or whatever it's called, I don't know. I played the game in German. Crafter. Very nice. Pleasure to meet you. Also, let's build a totem. So we can pray to the dead. Yeah, and here also you can see the task. The pressure put on our people. And of course, we have 10 people to our hand, with only 6 of them capable of doing everything. Kids are only to gather and carry, which is logical. You can't barely send him to chase down a bison. Maybe you could. There's nothing humanity can't do with kids. What I want to check is... did we first make... defense... and... food? Oh. Speed. Speed. Right, and over here we do animals and vehicles. Alright, what dangers will we... what danger will we... no, the child! Save the child! Save the child, kill them! Kill the cave lion! Pleasure doing business. Alright, perfectly timing. What do we have to look out? As you see, we are far from our camp. The camp is... calm down. The camp is the thing where you could guess it. Most people will be. Not now, but later. At the moment, we are more of the good old typical system that we can't stay centralized to our camp. No possibility. Every resources, everything we need is far away. And these things will also start to move at some point even more far away. Was this even a sentence? I don't know. Yeah. As you could guess, the more we go on in the tech tree, like for example, better weapons, and especially these things, the grain processing and pulse processing. Pulse? Excuse my speaking. And later you have the general domestication, which pretty much allows you to plant wheat yourself, and later pulse, like peas, and you see it down, and flax. Fruit trees is also, and ray for beer. And as soon as you unlock the processing, you can gather these things and use them. obviously. And also unlocking the making of bread. And as long as we don't have this, we have to spread out our forces. And the danger lies in them. Let's see if we find them fast. With time. No rush. Probably not them. I mean, I heard that pig at some point started eating someone, and if you want to have somebody vanish, pigs are your best bet. They ate everything. I think only the fingernails or tooth will remain. Don't ask why I know this. Yeah, the second problem is these, the cave hyenas. We also have to chase, and really chase, because they are the biggest problems. Not only for us, but later for our animals, and sometimes even them. And yeah, we saw them some time ago, the wolves. We can tame them to dogs. Like I saw, I tamed dogs, and dog training allows me that dogs will come to hunt with me, which means that my people won't be the first front line, but the dogs. I sacrifice the dogs to spare my life, or the life of my people. Not the most moral thing, but it's a Stone Age. And we don't have any immigration. Right, you saw it. Every three buildings is the wrong sentence. But in the you get points for buildings every one. The first building you get or build, you get wisdom. And I won't name it knowledge because wisdom clings better for me. Every 3 buildings you get something. Every 5 buildings, I believe. Every 7 and every 10, or every 5 and every 10. I don't know. Alright, biggies. Yeah, as you see here, we can capture them, but this is far in the future. But this is the perfect time to have a look. Hut. Roundhouse. There it is. Roundhouse kick. Yeah, because in German it's not translated because this mod was made by an English person. Or this map or challenge. And therefore it's not translated. So even in German I have roundhouse, warehouse, breweries and blacksmiths. Instead of Lager, Brauereien, Schmieden and whatever roundhouse was in German. I don't know. We can hunt mammoths, but I don't know. My interest in having 3 big mammoths, hunting 6 of my people is... I don't see a victory close. Our imminent destruction, I see. Alright, let's get some sticks. Stick and stone, break my bone. Good morning, good evening, good morning. And we train dogs. There should be a dog around here, I believe. Yeah, I'm not forced to tame wolves into dogs. They will just appear and die at some point. They will come and they will go. Otherwise nobody would use dogs, to be honest. Nobody is looking for wolves. I mean, think about this, the fact that I would now have to look for wolves Problem first is detected. Yeah. And now just imagine, I have to look for wolves. Then you have the big problem that your wolves are probably down back there in the hills. You have to send your guys out, or girls, all the way across the map, all the way in the dangers of the world. Being ripped apart by cave lions and cave hyenas, completely alone because they split up, and yeah. Probably the dogs will also die by the way to return to the camp. This will be also the pleasure to later get sheeps. Because I know the direction where they spawn. Everything else we have to discuss. Does everybody know Asterix and Obelix? We're not in Obelix. Somebody needs to carry this. You saw it with the fruits. We just gathered fruits, or get wisdom from gathering fruits. And now we do the same with berries. Six. Please? What happened over here? Ah. Yeah, we need to pretty much annihilate everything that reminds me of a cave lion, to be honest. Yeah, what I forgot to say, or never ended. Like I said, we spread out, and yeah, we are in immediate danger of our greatest weakness as humans. We are fucking weak. You can be the most buff guy in the world, but I give you 100 euros. This cave lion is more buff. And they are even more buff than you will ever be. We humans simply have not the power of surviving alone or go hunting alone and get huge success out of it. Like we know from history, and we now learn drastically in modern times, the Persian rate is going up, we are meant to work together. And in the times of gathering, we expose our greatest weakness, being alone. Momentarily, a big force of my evac the kid. I won't stay here and look how one of my kids is going down. This is a kid. This is a dog. This is a kid. Whoever strikes first strikes best. Hey. 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 Stop it. Alright, we got at least one. We looking desperately for the hide. The hide is what we want. Spears, fishing tools, and clothes. Because as soon as winter is coming, we have one of the worst times we ever will get. Alright, let's build another tent and a storage. Everywhere here in the woods. How are you? Seems beautiful. Yeah, we need to drastically reduce the cave lion population here. Yeah, this is the problem. It's not always clear. Sheep. I know it doesn't look like one, but it is. We got a pretty bad start here. Because hyenas are bad, but they use numbers. Wolves are not that bad actually. And we get something out of them. The problem is cave lions. Stronger, better, and also have numbers. And they are in our neighborhood. And I believe have a spawn point over here somewhere. Because they won't go. This is as clear as water in the German pipes. Water system. My greatest fear is that our flint... we have a bit left. That we don't have much flint left. Right, we get this thing. No wisdom? I'm shocked. No, let's keep it. Can take some time. Let's speed up and... Right. Rudolph the reindeer. Ah yeah, and welcome to our biggest problem. We have resources will spoil or... Yeah, like it says, it will last longer. And the problem we meet is 1.5 times is faster than 1, or is at least more covered than outside. But fruits and berries expire extremely fast, and this is our problem. If we have gathered something in the early summer in Legacy, in the mid of year 4, we will face a huge spoiling wave. Doesn't happen with our meats because they are mostly dried, cooked, and meat just spoils less frequent than our beautiful berries. Like you see, the fruits from green to yellow in no time. Later it will hold on until winter and end of winter, but this comes with upgrades and yeah, we need fetching for it. And this is in the Neolithic. Let's make bones. My stick and my bone break my crown. Alright, a bit of more fishing. Yeah, the problem is we can't do much with bones because this would meant we have to kill at a high frequency, which isn't my plan. My way of being is we hunt if we need, and the rest of the year we live from nuts. Nuts and berries and fruits. And fish. Think about it like so I mentioned, or I at one point heard that, or it's believed, I don't know. At some point I heard that in the times of Stone Age, so I was told, and so some people believe, or many people believe, I guess, that hunting was a thing that was done if necessary. So to not waste food. Because hunting something to extinction and then using half of the resources available and the rest spoils and expires and just disappears because somebody stole it. Everything is possible. Is not a great way to work with the resources, especially in a time where from here to here is almost your death. And especially in the Stone Age. No communication, no nothing. And if one of these MFs get you in real life, I think it's over. Especially if it's the entire family. You can't call for help, you can't do nothing, you pretty much can just lay down or fight till the bitter end. Because, again, we humans are pretty weak. I mean, look at this, our bodies have no real advantage over most of animals. Either we are too slow, too weak, or simply stupid. Or do you can survive in the jungle by sitting on a tree and then jump down on your prey? Like a snake? You could. But it will be less efficient in this. And especially if you are a kid. By the way, yeah, one is pregnant. This is important because we need to be ahead of time. Time is our adversary. If we are not fast enough by reproducing, we quickly can see how our women and adults go into the elderly stage and our kids replace them. And if nothing is done, we go extinct. That makes me sad. And we won't recover because there is almost no immigration, maybe once every 8 years. Right, doggy? By the way, there's our doggy. And there's one joining. Welcome. If emergency or depression is high, we can also slaughter them for one meat. And one meat only. But mostly there's no need for it. To slaughter our own animals. Alright, the stress is coming down. Everybody does what he can. Get what he needs. I know this is the idea of communism. But back in the days of the Stone Age, it's actually worked. You need a house, food, water, and company. A tribe of fellow humans. Nothing more, nothing less. More you don't need. Everything else belongs to the community. This is not possible in my beliefs nowadays. Communism. That's why I'm. Yeah, probably or against communism because it doesn't work anymore. What do you need? I just called it what you need. But at the time of the Soviet Union, or let's go even more back at the times as the communism rose to power in Russia, the things you could have or was deemed needed was already higher than this. Like, for example, maybe not in Russia, but let's think about, we all know how Russia was before World War One, in World War One, and after World War One. No, nothing changed. Still a barren land of farmers. Industry, a rare sight. Winter is coming. And looking at countries like Germany, something like a watch and everything was already deemed necessary. To keep track of time. A thing you don't need in the traditional way of survival. A clock is not needed, or a watch. Yet it's what I believe it was deemed a necessary thing. Keeping time in the eye. Or keeping an eye on time. And it is rose even more. Let's think about the 1970s. Everybody thought, or it was normal to have a radio. It was deemed necessary to have a radio for keeping up with the news and having something to listen to. Music, propaganda, whatever. Depends on where you lived. No, not really. Propaganda and music is probably a thing in every country. Don't lie to yourself. And look at us today. Communism is completely erased now. Can't rose to power. Simply because of the fact what is deemed necessary. In my eyes, necessary is, for example, a laptop, a PC. You have to work with it. A phone. We in our workspace, we need a phone because this is main communication thing. To communicate between all the sectors. Being it on a wastewater plant or wastewater treatment plant or whatever it's called in English itself, or communicating with the workers on the outposts, checking the pipes and everything, making sure that everything flows right and nothing is damaged. And it's necessary. So yeah, everybody has to get a phone. Also a PC. Many people need a PC. If you work in a bureau or something like this, you automatically need a PC. So yeah, another requirement you can't think away. And everything like this, many things became normal to have, deemed necessary for life. And this is where communism just falls down. Too many things are now deemed necessary. And that's why it would not work. Also the fact that somebody explained it, and I'm also this vision, by the way, every time winter is done you get one wisdom. Because every time, winter in the Stone Age and everything beyond is... I would even say winter until 1800 and something like this was probably always a fight against death. Obvious why. And yeah. What was I talking about? We can now cut down wood. Alright. This is also available. Nope, stop this. We don't need this. We have flint now. Yeah, the system. Everybody does what he can and everybody gets what he needs. The needs problem is already explained, but what about the everybody does what he can? We are humans. Humans belong to animals. Animals are known for one thing. If we wouldn't need anything necessary like food or water, we would just lay around all day and have stupid fun. Or pop the entire time. Because the thing is, like we know nature, everything wants to be as still as possible. Will have a nice life. You don't want to have to work 14 hours a day, like it was back in the day. You want to have your free time, work-life balance. And it's put simply, if there is no necessary, or if it's not necessary to work, which in communism would be the case, because why work? You get anyways the things you need. Phone, PC, if you work in the right branch or something like this. Food, shelter, water, sewage system probably. By the way, also things that need to be covered. Medicine, everything needs to be given to you. Because everybody gets what he needs. Yeah, by the way, this is now the time we expand in darker territories. This is so bad. And, oh, can I redirect it? Over here. And there comes the hyenas. This is bad. And in the most cases, you will at some point stop working because it's not deemed necessary. Not like in the capitalist system where you have to work, otherwise you get pretty much left behind. Is the most human, and in Germany we have the system that is so easy to exploit that it's almost useless and doesn't do what it was meant to do, in my opinion. Yes, people that take it are not often just abusing and exploiting the system, but many. What I expected. Yeah, there's often a situation, by the way, when you... Thank you. When you lose a weapon and have to retreat, there's the possibility that the animal that attacks your person is also just retreating by being damaged. By the way, I sent her away because she's already wounded that could go into an infection, and with her health she would probably just die. Alright, then die. Yeah, good. Alright, the problem is located. Cave hyenas needs to be extinguished. They pose a huge threat. We need to completely annihilate them. Their kids, everything. And there it is, a woman. That's bad. Old woman. Acceptable. Problem is, our two are pregnant. Probably a pregnant woman died. We have 4, 1 is dead. Is not counted yet. And this is a problem we have now. Two dead. Nothing too bad, nothing too bad. We can recover. But what we need to do is building a grave. A grave. Yeah, and even if in a moment when you don't lose the moral to work for the greater good, if you start to see the first persons that receive everything by not doing anything, this is probably an extreme big factor. You will at any point lose interest of working, because you see the fact that it could go easier. And like I said, we are animals, and animals want to live as easy as possible. That's the sole point why also many animals adopted to pack hunting. Because fighting, hunting and defending in packs is easier than alone or in smaller groups. And I think this is also one of the things why humanity rose to its power as it was. Because we adapted to extreme amounts of people gathering together instead of groups and packs. Like you see, we don't rule the world. We don't rule the Earth. Earth rules us, but we rule the animal kingdom. Simply by the fact that we have numbers, power and development on our side. I mean, I find it always interesting, the question. Like in the Stone Age, we found out how fire works. We found the fire. We did not create a fire, we found the fire. Fire was way before us. We started using rocks and sticks as our weapons, sharpening them to spears. And I find the fact interesting that we have the mental capacity to take a stick and sharpen it, to use it as new weapons instead of our useless little fists. Things animals never really developed. I mean, I think chimpanzees, monkeys can use weapons, but not at the extent as we can do. Like making spears. I mean, we come to an interesting thing. When you ever heard of it, if you put a monkey for eternity in front of a writing machine, or a PC in this case, this was old, there was no PC, there was only the writing machine, I don't know how to call it. Maybe it was just called writing machine. And yeah, at some point the monkey with unlimited time, paper and ink, electricity in this case, he would start to, I don't know, write Harry Potter. Simply because if you have unlimited time and unlimited resources, you will at some point create something this way. And this is probably why we also developed so good. Because simply of the fact we had enough time to try everything. Our useless mind came or made together, put together. And we had much luck. We had much luck. Many things came from nothing. Simply pure luck. Like, if I'm right and remember right, here with electricity, we only found it by, was it here Benjamin Franklin with his thingy going up into the sky, which I don't know in English, but I know in German it means Drache or dragon. Yes, it's called dragon. You know what I mean. But you give kids, so you can give kids, letting fly it up into the air on the line. Hopefully there is no high voltage power line close by, because then you don't have a kid. Or a well done kid. Mostly charcoal. And yeah. I believe much of our wealth comes from pure luck. And that we have sometimes people that exceed everyone else. Thinking about Albert Einstein. Which was German, not American. Just to make it clear, somebody may think he was American. I want to build it here. But I can't. Simple solution? Cut this tree down. Done with it. Alright, we make a bit of more surplus. Sickles and everything else can stay as it is. And a human was born, a boy. Welcome, welcome. You will reinforce our forces. Alright. Yeah, like I said, momentarily we lose time. We lose against our biggest adversary, the time. We have an extreme high welfare, 100%. There is little pressure on our people. Everything is good. So probably all 3 women will soon get pregnant. Fun fact, this is no guarantee that we survive this way. If all 3 women are pregnant and give us boys, yeah. You know what they say, if you rub 2 sticks against each other, no kid will come out. I mean, we can try for some time before time will run out, but I'm pretty sure 2 sticks won't make a kid. I mean, I'm open to try it. Maybe we have luck. But I think the more we try and the harder we get trying, we only make fire at some point. But no kids. There are probably gay people who tried to get pregnant. I bet. Everything was done in humanity. Every stupid shit we can think about, we already tried probably at some point in the time. And that's why I love humanity, because we try every shit. As useless and senseless it is, someone will try it. I mean, we are the ones that created beans tasting like shit. You know, the beans that could be good but also could be bad, and you don't know which one you have, and at some point it just tastes like puke or shit. Or you have a nice strawberry bean. A girl was born. I'm happy. I had one playthrough where only women were born, so I had 1 boy to 7 girls. Not that the boy should be sad about this as soon as he's, let's be real, 14 years old. It's the Stone Age. If not, 12 is enough to... I don't know, when are humans ready to give birth? It's not 18, this is just a moral stand we follow. But the ability of reproducing by humans is lower. 14 or 12, I'm not sure. It's definitely lower. Because if you remember in Stone Age, I don't know how long, but I would say if you get 30 you are happy. If not even younger, because I think in the Middle Ages we guess that they go around 30? 30 to 40? Or even lower? Not high. Alright, let's chop this tree down. And then we will end. After some political talking. And some looking back at time. We can end this. Yeah, the 30 minutes system will also stay by, but I think always a new game will start with a 1 hour introduction video. Or not introduction, but 1 hour starting video, and then the normal 30-minute system will return. I think I always did this. Alright, what I also want to implement is the good old revisit, or how can you call it? Looking back at what we achieved. Let's call it this. Look back at time. Or at the things we did in the video. I want to implement this. Tree shop? Tree shop. Yeah. What we achieved? We achieved a stable start. We lost people, but pregnancy is stable. The first batch of newcomers is here. We achieved some pretty good things. Dogs, food drying and grave. We need more stone. We can now mine. Let's make 4. Yeah, we built 6 huts. Let's have a tent. Drying racks, crafting. We settled. That's the most important thing. We settled. We suffered our first defeat, but at least no kids got killed in the process. Because this is the worst thing you can get. Kids. Sounds mies, but... or sounds awful, but... the dogs can die or the old people? Because the old people, they are normal working. By this standards. By the game standards, they are normal working people. But they don't do anything else anymore. Reproduction is offline. And that's why old people and dogs will, in my eyes, be always one time that can be sacrificed. Kids, in no way, because they are the future. And adults is really not what I want to have that, because especially women. Men can die. Men are useless. Two needs to be men. But women are shit, because, yeah, if they are pregnant, we lose 2. And the efficiency of reproduction. And this is the first time I see that this thing is 2D. Nice. Yeah. Like I said, the most important thing is we settled. We have spring. Year, I don't know, maybe 3, 4. We achieved nothing. Stats are beautiful. Technology is going on. Oh. Ah. Here it is. Young adult. Males, females. Oh, I always looked for this. Domestic animals. But it's not nothing I can see. This is sad. Task activities. Performing tasks. Unproductive. Gen Z. I can say it, I'm Gen Z myself. Alright, here it is. Ah, and here you can see. Alright, every 10, 3, 3, 1. You can't get any more, alright. Also with the skin drying. Alright. I learn myself. I like this. Life is learning. You will always learn. There is nothing you can do. Every day you go out, there is a high chance you will learn something new. And if it's only the knowledge of that poop can smell differently. That's also something learned. Or that the the Dresden sometimes smell like shit. No joke. By the way, maybe you heard it. Maybe you realized it. Maybe my voice is also more stable, but I have a new headset. Yeah, headset, not micro. I upgraded it from the old one because you also had the problem that sometimes I would just stop mid-sentence for for the reason that I had a problem with the cable that would by some movements disconnect, and yeah, if the cable disconnects, the power is offline, logically. And yeah, now I'm momentarily on a cable, but I have a non-cable headset. I'm just loading right now. And this is what I was looking for, because this entire cable everybody who has a headset and knows how it is to pull the entire cable around your table and kick off everything on your table, everybody knows it who has a cable. I'm just stupid. That's also a possibility. Anyways, we achieved something. We settled. I have a new headset. I hope it sounds better than my old. And we'll see us next time to Dawn of Man /woman /diverse /LGBTQ plus question mark and everything plus hashtag divided and minus and everything. Yeah. Goodbye and till next time. Videos every 2 or 3 days. I have to look at it. How much I want to have or how much I want to play now. Bye.